So I can send you a copy of it and you could re-review it. Is that fair?
Okay.
So Cindy Glenn, do I have your permission to record this call and to possibly share it with other people as they come into the network to help them get out of the blocks with their radio show?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. The first thing that you want to do is download the link that I sent you earlier. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. I sent it right here. And when you download this link, what you're going to open up and see is this little zipped file. Okay? So I went ahead and double-clicked it and opened it up. And there's two different folders. There's advertising and participants, and there's show supporting documents, which we're going to go over all these. But the very first thing you should do when you get this package, excuse me, is double-click and open up the PowerPoint presentation.
I think I've had that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I've worked off of that to create mine.
Weight. Go ahead, what?
I've worked off of this one to create some of my own sheets, although I don't really know how PowerPoint presentations work. I need to learn more about that.
Okay. Well, here's...
As far as taking out and adding in things.
Have you watched the video that accompanies this PowerPoint?
No.
Okay. You need to write that down. Excuse me. Excuse me. So, goals from this call, or not goals. Come on, Ron. Action items for Cindy from this call. Number one, you've already done this. Download zipped file. Number two is to open up, excuse me, two is to open the there's only one, point presentation and watch the video from the link on slide 2. So let me show you how that's going to look and feel. So here we are in PowerPoint. Now, you can do PowerPoint a couple different ways. And I'm not going to give you a whole lesson on PowerPoint because that's a skill that, in my opinion, every sales professional should possess. Because what do we do for a living? We present. We present solutions and we present opportunities, and from that we create transactional opportunities. So I'm going to go into PowerPoint mode here. And you could do this by either going into PowerPoint and then just clicking up to the next slide, which is slide number 2, and clicking on a link here. And it's going to take you to a video.
Hi there, my name is Ron Quintrell with Real Estate Radio Network, and what I want to be able to do with you on this brief video is to share.
So I walk you through how to be able to use this document and how to be able to customize your slides and get ready for your presentation to advertisers.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get out of presentation mode right now. And I'm not going to walk you through this whole slide because the video will do that. And you already have your slide created because I've seen it and I have a copy of it.
Okay.
So let me get to pricing model. By the way, do you have a storybook or a presentation manual that you use for your presenting what it is that you do as a mortgage professional for either realtors or other professionals?
No, I don't.
Cindy?
Yes, I'm here. I don't have one.
Okay. This is a little throw-in. I do a lot of coaching and consulting with some really just good producers around the country. And what I have them create is what you see right there. It's called the Storybook. Mm-hmm. And if you decide that you want to be able to do this, what I've enclosed right here is another link to another zipped file that has the PowerPoint presentation and a 1.5-hour video tutorial on how to be able to put that together for your business and for your company. So that way you could present to other professionals what it is that Cindy Glenn does for them and how Cindy Glenn is different and unique as a mortgage lending professional and why they should and want to do business with you as well as send their customers to you.
Yeah, okay.
That good?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to do action item number 2 from this meeting, which is to number 3. What slide was that? 25. On slide 25, review, download, excuse me. Download the zipped file, open the PowerPoint, and watch the video link that accompanies PowerPoint template. I'll put Cindy's okay.
Okay.
By the way, this isn't just for real estate radio. You'll be able to use this in all facets of your business.
Yeah.
So let me get to the advertising part. Now, in the tutorial, it's going to basically tell you that you should memorize your stump speech. And the best way to memorize something like this, it's just a paragraph, is to simply handwrite it, not retype it, but handwrite it 5 or 6 times, and then set it down and actually hand it to somebody, a life partner, a spouse, a child, a teenager or maybe a young adult, and just simply say, I'm going to read this to you, and I want you to, with this red marker, mark anywhere where I get this wrong. If I leave out a word, if I jump over a word, and you just do that again, this is a 2-hour drill, then you rewrite it a couple more times until you can stand up and recite the sucker without making an error. Now, if you don't like our words, and if you feel they're slightly clumsy, you have inside of the zipped file that I sent you the stump speech document that you could open it up and retype it if you're not comfortable with my grammar, if you're not comfortable with some of the wording, if you think you could say it more eloquently. God bless you. Grip it and rip it. By the way, if you end up, and let me just kind of share this with you, if you end up making some changes or improvements that you think would be better for everybody, please submit them to me after you go through this drill, because I've had about 5 or 6 other people before you give me changes that they've made, and I've made those changes. So this document is an ongoing, living, breathing, constantly evolving and getting better and better document. And then what I do is, as that happens, I'll redistribute it to all affiliates for potential consideration. But if you feel like the one that you have is the one that you want and you're going to stick with, bingo, that's yours.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
All righty. And the reason, again, is when you meet with a financial advisor, you meet with a homeowner's insurance person, you meet with a top producing realtor, and they go, well, tell me, what is this real estate radio? You don't want to be and and you know, having a really hard time clearly and professionally. Just the Real Estate Radio Network is a nationwide alliance of real estate professionals with one common objective: delivering the truth about local real estate markets, creating a forum for recognition of deserving professionals, and promoting the way we help people save money and achieve the dream of homeownership.
That sounds a lot better.
I just read right off that document.
Yeah.
So, you know, at that point they go, really? Tell me more. Well, the Real Estate Radio Network brings hardworking and ethical professionals in a community together. We provide the media and the forums necessary for consumers to learn the truth about important aspects of their financial life, which is mostly centered around their biggest investment, the home that they live in. The Real Estate Radio Network provides in this way, as you're saying this, number one, you come off as, wow, number one, this person has tremendous conviction and belief about what they're doing. Number two, you ever watch this movie? It's a movie called The Patriot with Mel Gibson.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
It's back in the 1776 when we were striving for our independence away from England. Back in the Patriot days, and during that movie, and I'm just going to pull something up real quick. I like Google better than Yahoo. It's just a personal thing. And I'm just going to do Mel Gibson, even though he's not a real popular guy right now. Mel Gibson, Patriot. Images. Back that off. In the movie, he ends up grabbing the flag and leading the charge, is what I'm trying to get across right now. And most people, even professionals, are wondering generalities and are not meaningful specifics. And I didn't create that phrase. Old Zig Ziglar did. And the reason I'm going down this rabbit trail right now is when a person shows up with a plan and a person has conviction, that's leadership, and people will get behind those people that have a plan and that have a mission. They're on a mission. They're on a crusade. And so going back to the stump speech, this is a very important part of what it is that we do, because that stump speech basically says, okay, Cindy's grabbed the flag and she's leading the charge here to help rebuild the real estate market one house at a time. So the stump speech, some people kind of like, blow through it, but it's like, really? You got to really slow down for a second. The next thing is the announcement letter to friends and family members. That you need to, and again, we've given you the letter. It's in part of the zip file. Have you done this yet?
Yes, I have. I tailored it to what suited me.
And so you customized it. Beautiful. I love that. Have you mailed it out yet?
We're in the process, yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you this. I just got one that we had another affiliate customize last week. Got a really good response from it. He ended the letter with, first of all, it was he really softened it up where it was like from his heart. And he was really just kind of gushing how he was feeling about this thing and his excitement towards the new business opportunity. But here's what he did differently is he really did a great job of asking for referrals. So, and what he did was, and we're going to come back to this, and you're going to see this in the video, is part of the goals for me is I want to get very specific with types of advertisers we want to have. And in his letter, he basically said, you know, we are looking for advertisers and co-hosts and guests to be a part of our upcoming show. The professional categories would include, but would not be limited to, homeowners insurance, life insurance, real estate attorneys, estate planning attorneys, financial advisors, taxation professionals. And if you know of a really good realtor that you think would be good for consideration of an upcoming show, please contact my office with their names and their contact information, and I'll be sure to let them know that you thought so highly of them that they should be a part of what we're doing. Now, he got about 14 or 15 people referred to him. So he's working a very, very warm list now.
Yeah.
So when he calls up, that let's just say realtor, the phone call goes like this: ring, ring.
Hello.
Bob Thomas, Remax Properties. Hey, Bob, my name's Cindy Glenn, mortgage lender. This is not a mortgage solicitation call. Relax. The reason I'm calling you is you were referred to me by our common client. And what are they going to say to that, Cindy?
They're going to listen.
That, or they're going to go, oh, really? Who's that? If I called you up and said I was referred to you by one of our common clients, would you want to know who the client was?
Sure.
Absolutely. Oh, really? Who's that? I provided financing for the Smith family over on Main Street, and I just sent them a letter announcing my new radio show, and they really spoke highly of you when they called me back, and they said that you would be a potential candidate to be a guest on one of our upcoming shows. Truth be told, I don't know that much about you, and I haven't even met you yet. I'm scheduling appointments to be out in the field next week. I'd like to be able to pop by your office, have a quick 15 to 20 minute get to know each other meeting, tell you a little bit about what we're doing on the radio show, see if in fact it might be something that you might even be interested in coming on as a guest. Worst case scenario, I promised the Smith family that I would introduce myself to you. Are you going to be in your office next week? Are you working next week? You are. Good. What's better for you for us to meet? Earlier in the week or later in the week? Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday? Well, let me ask you another question. What day of the week is your company meeting? Oh, Tuesday mornings at 9 o'clock. Do you go to your company meetings? Yeah, my manager's always on me to do that. That's great. Why don't we kill two birds with one stone? Tell you what, why don't I come by your office about 10 to 15 minutes before the top of the hour? How long are your company meetings? About an hour. Why don't I just pop by your office at about 10 minutes till 10? I'll be waiting in the lobby. When the meeting ends, We could just jump into a conference room, have a quick 15-minute get-to-know-each-other meeting, tell you a little bit about what we're doing. I'd like to get to know more about you and your business as well. And if there's an opportunity for us to do something going forward, maybe we'll discover that in that brief conversation. Does Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock sound good to you? Now, I can get very salesy and go, okay, alternative of choice. What's better for you, earlier in the week or beginning of the week? Oh, later in the week's better for me. Good. Does that mean Wednesday or Thursday? Thursday. Good. Mornings or afternoon? Mornings would work. Say 9:30 in the morning. Would waiting until 10:30 be better for you? Great. 10:30 it is. This upcoming Thursday. I'd like to be able to send you an email with all of my contact information on there. That way, if something pops up and we're not going to be able to make it or we need to reschedule, if you would please extend to me the courtesy of that announcement, I'd appreciate it. What is the best email address to be able to send you some information about myself and my company? In the process, I'll go ahead and confirm our appointment. Super duper. By the way, I've got a book I'd like to be able to send to you ahead of time. It's about myself and the services that our bank provides for real estate professionals in the community. If I send it to you ahead of time, you get a chance to kind of thumb through it. It'll expedite our time together. When I do meet with you, I'd like the opportunity to pick up that book, to be able to retrieve it. But again, just by my placing it in your hands ahead of time, you're going to be a little bit further along in the conversation. What is the best mailing address to overnight you our company's presentation book? Great. 123 Main Street, yada, 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 yada. I'm going to go ahead and overnight that now. I'm going to send off a confirmation email. By the way, do you have a website that I could look at ahead of time so I get to know a little bit about you and your services? So working this announcement thing is kind of a big deal because it gives you really warm, really gentle leads. Now, when you send off this other announcement to partners, this is finding the people that hopefully you're already doing business with. Hey, Tom, we funded a transaction about 5 months ago for that purchase transaction. It was really a pleasure doing business with a professional like you. Wanted to be able to send you out this letter announcing that I'm going to be on Sooners Radio. Woohoo! I was selected to be on the same radio platform that they play the Sooners football games on. Can you believe it? I am so proud to be associated with this station, and they have me as the host of a new segment called the Real Estate Radio Network. This is where we are bringing good news regarding the real estate market to our consumers. My show launches on this date and this time. I got to tell you, the other day I was in the studio doing all the setup and preparation for the better part of 3 hours, and it was quite an experience. I'm learning so much regarding this new opportunity that's been presented to me. When I did my onboarding, they asked me who did I know, and I thought about you, and I thought that you might be potentially a good guest to come on the air. If you understand the importance of raising your profile, if you understand the importance of being recognized as an authoritative expert, if you'd like the opportunity to be able to use the same radio station logo in your marketing ongoing, I think we should schedule a time to talk and have an exploratory conversation regarding you being on the show. We've already done business before, so we already know how each other functions. Please get back to me and let me know the best date and time for us to be able to meet. Or get back to me and just let me know that this is something that's just not right for you, and that way I go ahead and just take you off the list. That same letter goes out to every homeowner's insurance policy provider that's local that you've been. Do you have a person that you could go to in the event that a borrower doesn't have a preferred insurance professional that you refer some insurance policies to, like a person?
Yeah, I have a list of several, but I usually plug the one I use that has given my borrowers the best rates traditionally.
See, now on that letter to that person or that email, it could be, this is me, this is how I do it. Maybe you have a different style and everybody has their own style, so let's not criticize each other's styles. Let's just work on getting the outcome. My style is I'm going to send an email and or a letter. I like hard copied letters just because it's kind of a lost art. And what I really like about it is it's tangibly placing something in their environment, so it sits on their desk. That's why I like the stationery, and that's why I like the envelope, and that's why I like the business cards. And that letter to that number one insurance professional is going to be something along these lines. Now, what's important here, Cindy, is watch the wording. Let me ask you this question, Cindy. What is the name of your number one insurance professional? First and last name.
Beverly, just flew out of my mind.
Beverly's good enough.
Insurance, I know that, yeah.
Beverly's good enough. Dear Beverly, wanted to send you this quick memorandum. I have now a part of Sooners Radio, AM 1530, whatever it is, and I'd even put out the call signals. We are launching on this date a new radio show platform, which is part of a nationally syndicated network. I have been selected as the host for the show here in Oklahoma. The radio station has me as the voice of radio here in Oklahoma. During my onboarding training, they recommended that I work with professionals I already know because we know how each other work and we can depend upon each other. The Real Estate Radio Network will have an insurance professional as an advertiser on the show. When they asked me who do I work with, I thought of you first and foremost, and I'd love for this opportunity to possibly come your way. I don't want to get into the details on this letter. I just want to let you know that I'm going to be following up, making a phone call to you in the next 24 to 48 hours to have a discussion around your potential involvement on Sooner Radio. Please note, we will have an insurance professional, and I would love for this opportunity to go your way. As a matter of fact, because of my affiliation, I'll be able to get some adjustments and price discounts for you should you decide that you want some additional business. I'll call you to set up a time in the next 24 hours for us to be able to meet. Hugs and kisses, Cindy. And then when you meet with this person, this is part of us establishing this ahead of time. Cindy, what is your show cost?
$550 a show.
Okay. Let's do this real quick.
And they were originally supposed to put me in at a 4 to 5 slot on Saturday, which by their own statistics had about 1,300 listeners. But now they've put me in 2:30, which only has 300 listeners. But it costs the same.
Well, I'll cover that with Derek. Actually, I don't get involved in that at all. I don't even know anything about that, to be blunt with you, because I just don't do that with the radio stations.
Yeah.
And I'd like for you to get back in that better time slot. So Give me 1 second. I'll have the discussion with Derek,
Okay.
and I'll get him on it, okay?
Okay.
So, part of this goal setting is your show cost. Let's just call it $3,100, and that includes our production cost, the whole 9 yards. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is let's create who we need in our plan to make this happen. And where we're going with all this is we're going to create a little bit of a business model of what it is that a person gets when they participate in your show. And let's start with the easiest one first, which is an advertiser. I got to pull something up real quick here. Let me just pull this up real quick. File, open. C drive, A presentations. A presentations. Quadrants. I'm going to use this graphic. Just for illustration purposes. This is real estate radio. This is, let me undo that move. This is real estate radio for the most part. That's an hour. 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Or let me state it this way. 15 after the hour, 30 after the hour, 45 minutes after the hour, top of the hour. You have a 12-minute segment. And at each of these marks, you have 3 minutes of advertisers.
Okay.
Have you heard any of Craig or Derek's advertisers?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you know what it looks and sounds like.
Yeah.
So our goal is if we can get an advertiser just from this. This is our plan. This is breaking it down. If we can get 3 one-minute advertisers, they're going to get 4 ads per hour times 4, or 16 advertisements for the month. 16 one-minute ads. Plus, you'll be sure to announce them during a segment at least one time per show. So really getting 20 advertising spots. Plus added to the website, plus added to the Facebook, plus added to, I mean, all the bennies that come with it as well.
Yeah.
If we can get 3 $1,000 per month spot ads, I'm going to consider this a complete victory. Now, if you have an advertiser, which we'll break this down, and I'll share with you who the biggest ones are. If you have an advertiser that not only wants the ad space on every 15 minutes, but they also want a show segment to talk about their services on air, so in the studio. And maybe if you did that twice, So you give them 2 segments, first and third week, plus all these ad spots. So 2 show segments plus, come on, Ron. So we get into pricing here. We could advertise it as that would be $2,000, but I can get you the good guy rate of $1,500. So you're going to have 2 segments where I bring you on and I talk about your show, I talk about your business, your whatever, just blowing you up, getting you some leads, getting people to react. So in this scenario now, if we can get 2 people on this plan, plus 1 regular advertiser, at $1,000, we're now at $4,000 revenue for the show. Now here's what's killer, Cindy. Part of your planning process is we need to take this times 4. So in your planning process, show 1, come on, Ron. Show number 2, show number 3, and show number 4. With our plan that we're talking about right here, we've now basically tied up. Let's go see what that looks and feels like. And I'm going to update these segment 1, 2, 3, 4. We've tied up 2 segments. Cut. On show 4 and show 2. Okay? Here's what I want you to see. We still have one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we still have 14 12-minute show segments to sell. Now you could make those really, a low threshold if you want, where you could say, the advertising slots are taken up already. I've got all my advertisers. Typically, a show segment is $700 or $500, whatever price you want. I can have you as a guest on my show, but you have to contract with Real Estate Radio because it's their airtime. And by the way, legally it is, because we contract with the station. Their airtime is typically $500, but I'll let them know you're one of my preferred realtors, and I can get you on there for $300.
For a 15-minute segment?
Yep. this point, if you're able to sell all segments, the cost of your show is 100% covered, and this as a second job is now paying you $4,500 a month. You just got yourself a second job, and it's one of the best jobs you ever had because it pays you basically $1,000 an hour to be a guest, to be a radio show host. You see the plan?
Yeah,
What do you think?
that would be great.
Well, I think if we know what it is that we're working on, and then I'll tell you what would be great, Cindy, is this takes a lot of pressure out of having to produce loans, you know, that your income is one-dimensionally dependent upon how many closings did you have in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because that treadmill gets tiring after a while.
Right. Well, and right now, too, I'm taking time away from that to work on this, and I'm feeling a little stressed from that, and then, you know, I'm paying for this, too, and so it's very stressful.
I get it. Anytime you add something new, it's going to take, you know, a little opportunity cost. Something's going to have to sacrifice. And, like, you know, Craig Sewing says this so well. He says sometimes what we have to do is, as professionals, is look for things that we're doing that have not been as effective or that have not yielded the result that we thought that it would, and we need to drop that activity and replace it with a more productive activity like this.
Yeah.
And Craig really talks about that a lot, and I think he is spot on when he talks about that. I think, you know, he absolutely nails it. So let's talk about who do we approach. First of all, what we got to do is have you go through this lesson that I told you about earlier with this the video link on slide number 2. Do the actual homework assignment. I can't set the pricing for your market. You need to know, you know, what you can and can't do. Now, maybe some of these numbers that we're talking about are a little high. So maybe you knock it down or adjust it a little bit. You know, I am Craig Sewing's business coach for his mortgage business, and I'll just tell you the deal that we're negotiating right now is he is negotiating with a mortgage company. It's a mortgage bank. It's a banker, actually, that they are going to, here's the deal that's on the table. They are going to pay him $25,000 a month, do a daily radio show, to buy his radio show, and all the mortgage business that's generated from all the guests that come on and or the consumer business that's created, from the relationships that are cultivated. Craig will never look at a a tax return, a credit report, or a 1003 again.
Wow.
His boss, the guy that's trying to recruit him onto his team, says, I have 2 junior LOs that don't know how to rainmake like you know how to rainmake. So I'll pay you $25,000. You continue to cultivate realtor and financial planner and attorney referral partners for our mortgage company through your platform. And you'll get paid not only the $25,000, but you'll also participate in company profit sharing from the business that's generated for this division. I will have 2 monkeys take loan apps. I will have 2 administrative app takers to do that part of it. See, most people don't know this about mortgage lending. Being a loan originator is an entry-level position into the mortgage industry. Some people create a career out of it. Some people use it as a stepping stone to then advance themselves into a managerial position and eventually an executive position. Craig's now stepping it up. Craig says, if in my perfect world, if I have to spend 3 to 4 hours per day pre-interviewing guests, potential guests to come on the show, and then doing my show for 1 hour per day, and I don't ever have to touch a loan app again, I'll be the happiest man alive.
Right.
If my day consists of waking up, meeting a realtor for a cup of coffee to discuss the potential opportunity of them being a guest on my show, to then transitioning out of that meeting and meeting with an attorney around 10, to possibly having a lunch appointment with another potential partner at noon, making a follow-up phone call at 1:30, going to the gym and working out, get to the studio by 5:30, because he is on one of the best stations on AM radio from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock at night, Monday through Friday. And in Southern California, you're talking about a lot of trapped listeners in their car that have to listen to the radio.
Yeah.
So I'm laying all that out to you to share with you and expand your mind into what the possibilities are here, Cindy. And, nobody's going to deliver this to you. But, I'm seeing this conversation with you right now as a coaching call. I put on my coaching hat with you for this call, that there's more than one traditional way of being in the mortgage business. And I've done this for many of my clients. I've escalated their careers. As a matter of fact, next week I'm driving down to San Diego, and one of my clients is flying in from Northern California, and he's having a meeting with the person that I'm introducing the same opportunity, because he's an affiliate out of San Francisco. So I'm just letting you know this. If you really grab onto this thing and go, all right, I see where the potential is here. And at the same time, I understand you can't, anytime you launch something new, you can't let your business go to hell in the handbasket, because that's, the bread and butter on the table right now.
Right.
If it means some extra, burning a little midnight oil, if it means a little extra effort, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But if we, it's like there's a speaker out there, his name's Todd Duncan. I heard him speak, and I don't know this to be true, but I decided to accept it as the truth, that he talks about when the shuttle launches, over 75% of the fuel for the total mission is used on the liftoff. And that's the same thing for this radio show. This is where we're going to have to really roll up our sleeves at the beginning. And right now, you got a lot of things going on. Little anxiety regarding going into a studio, little anxiety with this microphone being put in front of your face. Are you the right depth away from it? Do you sound right? How's my voice fluctuations? My tonality? I get where you're at. Here's also what I know that you don't know. After your second show, you're going to be like a proud little peacock doing the cock-a-doodle-doo. Your feathers are going to be able to go, I own this. I got it. I walked through that ring of fire, and I own this now. And then I'm going to ask you in about 2 months, when a person's thinking about coming on the radio out of Alabama or something, hey, Cindy, would you mind getting on the phone with them and sharing with them where you were just 2 months ago? See, and the good news about being on this side of the phone line is I've already seen where you're at. I've seen where you're at, and I've seen where you're going. Yeah. I'll tell you the opposite of this. We've had a couple of affiliates. We've not had a single failure yet. We've not had a single resignation, but then again, we've only been out of the blocks for 4 months. I got 2 affiliates right now that are feeling some anxiety because they haven't done any of this stuff that I'm telling you about right now. They haven't sent off the show announcements. They haven't reached out to people that they know. I talked to one of them yesterday. He goes, well, Ron, I really wanted to wait till I did my first 4 to 8 shows, and I feel comfortable with it, because then I don't feel this hypocrisy of, trying to do something or promote something I haven't done yet. And I'm like, okay, well, that's your own, that's your own set of rules that you created for yourself, and then you're going to feel the pain. And that's why right now, you're $7,000 in the hole. We don't want you to be in the hole. We want this thing to be paying for itself, and I want everybody to be profitable. Here's what I want, Cindy. I want to be able to have a convention this time next year in Las Vegas, Nevada with all of our affiliates. They're celebrating the success with all of them that we've been able to create for them, and a new job that's going to pay them an additional $50,000 to $60,000 per year.
That'd be good.
I can't do it for you. I'm a coach. A coach sits on the sidelines and calls in plays. But it's up to you, the quarterback, to be able to execute those plays. And so this homework assignment, you know, I want to break it down next. We're going to go a little bit longer here. I know we've carved out an hour, but I'm not done yet. I think I was going to tell you who have been the best advertisers, and I'm even going to give you a little bit of a parameter of what people have been paying, even in small markets. I consider you a small market, by the way. First and foremost, the easiest one to get has been, I should identify this, homeowners insurance. And typically in a small market, as an advertiser, $1,000. I have also seen the model where we talked about the advertising plus the 2 show segments. I've seen it go to all the way to $1,250 in small markets. Now, in a big market like in LA or Southern California, I've seen that number at $1,500 to $2,000. Right now, we have more bankruptcy attorneys than any other professional group. Strictly as an advertiser, in a big market, I mean, I just processed one yesterday. It's $3,500 for 4 shows. As strictly an advertiser, and that's one guest appearance for 1 show segment. So in a big market, you're talking $3,500. Small market, oops, sorry, same pricing. Ditto. Now, we've also seen, and when you have on board now, this is up to you if you want to do this or not. Some people don't like the space at all. I don't like the space at all. I don't like low modifications at all, just because I think it's a really screwed up space. But they're on our radio network, and some of our affiliates are doing well with it. And, you know, if you look at this, particularly this one right here, they need 1 client to break even. Credit repair people are usually on a lower rung of the ladder. Just seems like they're not making as much money. And typically I'm seeing them come in right now for between $500 and $1,000 as an advertiser. But I do think a credit repair is a really great guest to be able to have. And again, what we talked about up above is that $500 spot, and maybe you sell it for $300. By the way, what's the biggest group that I haven't even put in here yet? Cindy? Cindy, you still there? You're kidding me. She's back. Can you hear me, Cindy? Hi, Cindy.
Hello.
I just kept going, so let me kind of share with you what I've done, okay? I put here loan modification company, which I'm not a big fan of. By the way, I'm gonna move them to the bottom. I would avoid this group just because it's such a dicey space, but credit repair people we're seeing coming in at 500 to 1,000. You can have them as a guest for 300, have them as one of your show segments. Remember up here we talked about the 4 segments or 14? Cindy, you still there? I have some technology issues. Well, I'm just going to keep talking to this because I'm going to go ahead and record it and you can listen to it. I would, if it were me on the air, I would make sure that I had a realtor guest host every show. And by the way, what you may want to have to do is have them on as a guest one time, and they'll love it. If it goes well, and it will, we haven't had a single meltdown yet. But when it goes well, at that point afterwards, you go have a cup of coffee with them and you tell them, you know, I'd love to be able to have you contract with Real Estate Radio to be a permanent host, meaning you do the second show of every month with me as my guest host, and you'd be able to, you did such a great job of talking about the trends and what's going on with the radio and all, et cetera, that we'd love to be able to have you on talking more about that subject. Cindy, can you hear me? So, what I'm looking for right now let me add this one to it. So what I'm trying to lay out for you here is you need to create for yourself a bit of a plan of exactly what it is that you want to be able to do to get these people coming on air. This one right here, you know, I want to make sure that you have your Facebook set up. Hey, Cindy?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Were you on the call Monday when Ron Siegel shared with everybody what he did as far as getting people to go to his Facebook page?
Yes.
You know, I think that was really intelligent of how he did that. And by the way, the more of that, oops, sorry, hold on, 1 second. I fell back in my seat. The more of that you do and start to get all this stuff set up. Have you set up a Facebook page for your radio show yet?
No.
You need to do that. In 1 second. Yeah, I'm going to put... Actually, don't do that, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a chat with Corinne this morning. She's on my team, and you're going to be my beta. I'm going to add that as a new service that we're going to offer, is that when we sign up an affiliate, we're going to issue you a Real Estate Radio Network email address, and then we're also going to set up your Facebook page with that email address. How does that sound?
Yeah, that'd be good.
We'll do that for you, okay?
Okay.
So let's kind of like bring some conclusion to this meeting that we're having right now. your action items. Download the zip file, open up the PowerPoint, watch the video, get your storybook together, set your pricing that you're comfortable with.
Well, I put together a sheet. I think I sent you a copy of it last week. I was just kind of shooting in the dark, but I'll probably need to relook at that again.
Okay. And then what I'm going to do is wait for you to update the PowerPoint slides, pricing, and what's included and what I'll do right now, just so you know exactly what I'm talking about, is I will extract the slides. Yep. That you need to update and return to me, okay?
Okay.
And that way you don't got to try to figure out what the heck was Ron talking about. Send. Okay. Now, I think when you watch the video and you go through the tutorials and the direction that I give you on the video, because there's more homework assignments on the hour-long video. This that I'm outlining for you right here, this is what you need to do is modify, as an example, let me find this real quick. Guest. Oh, I got a big announcement. Steve Harney is going to be a regular contributor to our show now. That's big, by the way.
Oh. Steve Harney's the one that wrote that article on the 10 reasons to buy a home today.
Yeah, he actually is one of the most sought-after real estate speakers in America right now, for realtors.
I have a question, too. The realtor that I work with quite a bit, she's been my best referral source of late. She was a guest on my first show, and she really wants to advertise, but her husband won't let her. He controls what she does as far as advertising. And I got to thinking, well, what about, because she's an excellent salesperson, what if she sold some radio spots for me and bought her ads that way? Would that be possible? And
why not? I like the creativity. There's more than one way to skin a cat, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be more that way, but she's just like the Energizer Bunny as far as her attitude and what she accomplishes.
Yeah, you definitely want to dig in with those people.
Yeah, for sure. And she did an excellent show. So I would really like to continue the affiliation.
You know, and what you may want to do is simply let her know. You know, play good cop, bad cop, Cindy. You know, make us the bad cop.
Well, I kind of did that already. I said I'll talk with them about it and see what they think. And I told her I had an appointment with you today.
Absolutely.
I'm just not sure how to do the trade-off. And there would have to be something in there about, you know, if the person she got going quit advertising, then, you know, there would have to be something as far as her trade-off. So
I would just lay it out there for her. Say, listen, if there's anyone that you could introduce me to that we could get on as a paid advertiser to help me offset the show costs, I will basically dial you in for helping me do that, and I'll give you a show segment that you'll be a co-host with me, one show per month.
So you're saying the show segment, are you talking about 15 minutes?
I would. There's nothing that says that you can't make her a co-host and still bring on a guest for a segment.
Yeah.
You just may lose the opportunity to bring on a realtor because it's difficult to have two realtors in the same show.
Right.
But so what? You sacrifice one show, but you get a paid advertiser on that higher level. I would do that all day long.
Do you think just bringing on one advertiser, I should give her one show per month? Because I was thinking, like, if she got 3 advertisers, you think that would be too much?
Yeah, that's a lot of heavy lifting. I maybe give her 2 then, somewhere in the middle.
Of the lower level or the higher level advertisers?
I definitely the 1,000 to 1,250.
Okay.
Yep. Well, I got another call in 10 minutes. I need to prepare for it, so we got to start to wind this one down.
Okay.
But just to do a summary, I'm going to send you the email with the action items on there and everything that we discussed today. And I'm going to carbon copy Derek and Craig on this. And that's on its way to you. I already sent you the PowerPoint slides to update.
Okay.
Giving you all the instructions. Go through the video. This weekend you may want to dig into that a little bit. And then if you would, by Monday, if you could, we're going to plan a little bit this weekend and get back to me on who do you think are going to be your primary targets? What professional, what is your plan going to look and feel like? Sound good?
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, Cindy.
Okay.
I hope this time was helpful, and I really appreciate you being a part of what we're doing with the Real Estate Radio. You are our first woman, so we have a vested interest in you being successful in this. Please don't take what I'm going to say wrong, but as a business owner and manager of numerous real estate companies and mortgage companies, women are way more loyal than men. Women stay in a relationship much longer than men. Men generally tend to have either ADD or the Peter Pan syndrome where they don't want to grow up. So I appreciate you trusting us, and we're going to lean into this with you. And my number one goal is that we have the cost of your show offset going into next month. And if we could get this thing done right in November and December, my real goal would be by January 1 that you have 100% of every dime you ever paid to us back in your pocket.
I think it's good. And so I think what you've been telling me is that I do everything on this. I bring the advertisers on because somehow I got in my mind that you were going to be talking to the people that I initiated an interest on, but that's not part of it.
Oh, this will be absolutely as part of it. I've gone on meetings face-to-face inside of professionals' offices. I've done conference calls. So if you have a person that you've initiated contact with that wants more explanation, I'll get on the phone with them anytime. If you have a person that you say, hey, Ron, I've got an opportunity to bring on a law firm, but I'd rather schedule a conference call so I don't misrepresent it, let's schedule it.
Okay, yeah, because I've got actually my attorney, because I've been in the process of a divorce for about a year and a half, that he is interested. And he has pictures in his office of him in front of a radio mic. So I think he's done it before.
So that's a natural.
Yeah.
All right, Cindy, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and I'm going to send you a copy of this later on.